Initiating moisture.
Welcome to the Moist Meter. Today we're looking at Overlord, which is the new Wolfenstein movie, or at least that's what the trailers make it look like. And I was ready to fucking spew my gamer gunk all over the place watching a Wolfenstein movie, but unfortunately it's not really like a Wolfenstein movie despite what the trailers show us. It's still a really good movie. I was thoroughly entertained, but the trailers aren't exactly true to what the product is. This is more of just a World War II movie that, some Band of Brothers type shit, but it's very well done. It's beautiful to look at with amazing sound design, and there's also some monsters. Sometimes they're not really important overall, nor do they play that big of a role. They're not like the fucking quarterback of this football team of a movie, but it's nice that they're there. I really enjoy every time one of the monsters is on the screen. And unfortunately, that's the only thing interesting in terms of the narrative of this movie. It really is just super formulaic and generic in that department. You have the standard super nice guy who doesn't want to kill anyone or anything. They tell a story about how he couldn't even kill a mouse. There's also generic love interest that isn't really explored, who has a brother that gets kidnapped, which isn't really important. Then there's this standard no-nonsense badass who eats nails for breakfast and pisses out motor oil, who's going to jerk off all the Jerrys. He hates Nazis and just wants to fuck them all up. Just a generic cast of characters, but they're fun. They're there to, push the narrative, the pretty weak narrative at that. But it's fun. It's an entertaining movie. It's a really colorful movie. It's beautiful to look at. And like the first 20, 30 minutes of this movie, I thought were fucking spectacular. I thought it was an incredible introduction, and I was really hoping it would keep that kind of pace throughout the entire film, which it doesn't. It really starts to drag in the middle and gets extremely fucking by the numbers and formulaic. But the first 30 minutes I thought were just fucking jaw-dropping and great to look at. The whole movie is great to look at, and the sound design is something I really need to point out because it's super fucking well done. It's hard to put into words because you'd have to see it to really appreciate it, but it's impressive. Almost to like Blade Runner levels of impressive in my opinion, but not quite to that level. It's just a fun movie. You would expect from the trailers, maybe they go to a Nazi science facility, they get captured, and then they have to fight their way out through monsters and Nazis, gore and guts flying all over the place, titties and rock and roll. You don't get that. You get war movie with a couple of monsters occasionally. There's still gore, not as much as you'd expect from like the grindhouse B horror movie vibe you got from the trailers, but there is gore and it's well done. It's just a fun movie overall, but can't help but be disappointed or misled by the trailers because they kind of promised you something that you don't get in this. It also kind of hypes up the horror aspect of this movie, but there's literally no horror in this at all unless you're easily disturbed by, German language or perhaps like a moderately repulsing monster. There's really nothing to find frightening in this movie. I don't think anyone's going to go to bed with the lights on, fearing for Nazi scientists breaking into their room at night and stealing their nightmares or something. There's just nothing scary. So to hype it up as a horror movie, I think is disingenuous as well. The story, like I said, super generic. I'll go ahead and summarize it in a nutshell here. This group is given the mission of destroying a tower near this town, and that's the whole story. It doesn't really get deeper than that. It's like, all right, boys, we're going to destroy that fucking tower. Oh my god, that's a Nazi zombie monster abomination. Damn, that's scary shit. We're still going to blow up that tower, but the fact that exists is something that I'm going to remember. And we're still blowing up that tower. That's the whole movie. It doesn't really get deeper than that. Then there's like this really loose love connection between the main character and a girl that happens to speak English, French, and German in the town. It's just very uninspired, but I really like the concept of having the Nazi zombie monsters in there, and I wish it played a bigger role, and I wish that was like the focal point of the movie. Damn, we came here for Nazis, and now we're fighting demon spawns from hell that are also Nazis. We gotta fucking destroy everything. Let's just blow shit up and gore everywhere. But it's not it. That's not what you get here. It's a good movie. I was thoroughly entertained. It dragged a lot in the middle though, but the beginning and the end I thought were really very strong. And overall the movie was just a very nice one to look at and enjoy. So let's pop Overlord into the moist meter. I'm giving this bitch a 70%. Good movie. Definitely would recommend it. I absolutely think it's worth the time. And that's it. See ya.